It's nice. It's nice to get a reception like that, isn't it?
Well, yeah, well, whoever that was going to have to gargle after the show, I think.
Yeah. Do you have fond memories of Starsky and Hutch?
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't remember, I mean, like a scene like that, I don't recall it. I think after all the shows that we did, for the years that we did, and it's so long ago now, it's difficult to remember things like that. I wasn't very good.
Well, you were, I can't agree. You were tremendously popular. I mean, it's a kind of cliche question, but did the public confuse you with Hutch in the sense of what they expected of you?
Yeah, of course, but I'm not going to take that upon myself as much as I think that the technology of this era has created the character. And so people get most of what they get from the box, you know, so that there is no way of really delineating between myself and Hutch.
Did it cause problems for you?
Yeah, of course it did. It's an unnatural thing to be placed into a situation with television, which goes into so many homes, not only in your own country, but around the world, and not be impacted somehow by it. I'm not prepared. I was prepared to be a theater actor. I wasn't prepared to be a celebrity or a star.
Did it change you as a person?
I think it's impacted on me in many, many ways. I think it's put me through some very, very difficult times. An inability to really cope with a lot of the stuff that comes at you, you know. And I think part of the test of where I am today, I guess, is a sense that I've survived. And I think that any one of us in this business who have become, quote, celebrities or stars, who can survive with their craft intact, you know, should be considered as survivors. And I think that's a very high honor, actually. I see myself as a survivor.
Yeah. What did you have to survive? What did it do to you?
Well, I think there's a part of a part of me anyway, I should say, who wants the best, the absolute best. And the goal is to develop the instrument. The goal is to do great plays. The goal is really to communicate with people. And when that was misunderstood, what it touches off is sort of a fire of anger inside.
Who misunderstood it?
It's my perception of it being misunderstood. Yeah. Like I didn't reach where I wanted to go, you know. They misunderstood me. And then you try to also live a normal life, you know. Yeah. And I've had 6 children who are, wonderful, wonderful gifts. And I've also had some rather stormy relationships in my life.
Yes, and of course, all that makes the press.
Oh, of
which
course.
Again puts you under worse pressure.
Absolutely. But that goes with the territory to a certain degree. And I think to find the equanimity within that also is a testimony to survival. Because in order to survive, I think you have to do that. You have to accept. People are not bad because they're bad. People like you because they like you, you know? And so you're always caught between responding to the people as they are and holding on to that bit of dignity that you're just trying to hold on to, you know. But today, you know, it's I'm grateful for the days of Starsky and Hutch. Number one, thank you. Number one, I got a really good friend out of it. Paul Glaser is a dear, dear man and a very strong man. He's been through some very trying times himself with his family.
We interviewed his wife.
Yeah, she's
the last couple of weeks.
What a
remarkable woman.
Oh boy, and Paul's like that too. So you see that these kinds of adversities, even as we talked with these 2 gentlemen, you know, that kind of adversity. I know one thing: their sense of humor probably carried them through. They were funny guys. Yeah, got a great sense of humor, and you got to keep that. And I think part of the relationship with Paul and myself has been that sense of humor, you know, the sense of dealing with a difficult situation.
You were a bit unlucky in your career choice. After Starsky and Hutch, you didn't seem to pick the right movies, did you? You didn't.
I don't know. For the first, I suppose, 5 years or so, I did. I was offered a lot of stuff. But then this business is like mountains and valleys. It goes like this. And I guess not only did I not pick the right things, but my flame burned out, you know, as the new flavor of the month came on the scene. That's another thing that you have to survive and get through. But you're right. I didn't pick the right things. Part of it was my own, I suppose, my will to do something good, you know, and not unwillingness to sell out.
You've still got that determination.
Yeah, I do, to a certain degree. Because I'm passionate about communicating. Yeah, it's true. I'm passionate about communicating with people.
Now, this concert that you did last night in the Palladium, giving you a chance. I think this is going to be a long question while he eats this sweet and swallows it.
Right.
The concert was in...
How long have they been sitting there, by the way?
Oh, about 3 years now. Yes, a very plucky man. You did this concert on behalf of the Family Welfare Association?
Yes.
Is that a cause close to your heart?
Well, it has become that. I spent a good deal of time with the director of that last night, and a lot of my efforts as a result of the help that I gained from private groups, counseling groups, during some difficult times for myself, came from groups just like Family Welfare Association. And in these days of enormous cutbacks, particularly in communities where they're needed the most, on a multitude of levels, groups like the Family Welfare Association are going to be a lifeblood for people who need counseling, need advice, educational, dealing with the kinds of stress that people not only in this country are dealing with, but certainly in my own country.
Do you think, I mean, you had a lot of problems, as you've admitted, with drink, with being violent, or violence provoked by drink, or perhaps there was violence there exacerbated by it?
I think violence is always exacerbated by drink. I don't think it's caused by it.
Have you got over that problem?
I hope so.
Or are you taking it one day at a time?
Well, that's what you have to do, whether you're a man in the press or not.
I mean, how would you respond to great disappointment again? Do you think you could handle that? It's not disappointment. I mean, you know, just because you bomb at the theater, you get a bad review, you go, you know, bury yourself and drink. That's not it. You're talking about real basics, underlying human gut things. And I'm not in any way unique. I just am a little more public. That's all. I mean, you and I probably could sit down and count, you know, tens and dozens of families that we know that have a similar problem. You have a problem. You have not a problem. You have a family now that you really, that is your rock, haven't you?
Oh, I have a wife that's just the best thing that's ever. I mean, she's just wonderful, Julia. And finally, after 5 sons, we have a daughter, China, who's the apple of her daddy's eye.
And this is what you will cling to. This is what you hope will give you the strength.
When you ask that question of John and Adrian, I think that's true. You know, I think I never had the experience as a POW, but I did play one role, and I got to know a lot of the POWs from the Hanoi Hilton, who were imprisoned in Vietnam, for some of them for up to 6-8 years. It was always the family. And it's true. I've been sort of a hostage of Starsky and Hutch for all these years, and a hostage of a lot of other things.
Well, look.
But this family is...
has kept you. Yep. Well, we hope it will continue to provide
Thanks,
you with the
George.
strength that's required, and you go on.
I remember you in
career.
Ireland.
Oh, well, we'll put that aside and just wish you well. David.
Thanks, so.